Welcome to this LEX 18 Digital Conversation. I'm Dia Davidson. Sex abuse in the Black church is rarely, if ever, talked about. That is until now. A local author is sharing her collection of poems as a way to personally heal and help others know they're not alone. Joining me now is Tanyqua Oliver. She's author of Thrive Anyways. Welcome. This is a tough subject for you, isn't it?
It is.
But through your writing, you found healing?
Yes, it was a matter of life or death for me. So I decided that I deserved better, so I started releasing and started writing poems, and this is my first collection. I believe in making healing a top priority with everything that I've went through, which is something that I don't notice a lot in women like me. There's some that do, but in the Black community, I just don't see it as much as I would like.
Without going into a lot of detail, because I know that you have some court appearances that are coming up, what happened to bring about all of this?
Well, I was sexually abused from the time I was 9 until about 3 or 4 months before I turned 14. And he was married to my mom. My mom was a youth minister at a church, and he was a minister, and she worked third shift, so when she would be gone, he would do things to me. And I never spoke up about it for really, I guess, 9-year-old reasons. And when I did, I spoke up after they had split and he had left the home. I was 14 when I told my mother. And there was an investigation, but nothing happened in 2006. And I kind of just tried not to think about it. Through that, I developed complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So I went through a lot of things in life past that, and I never really related it to what I went through. I basically tried to push it to the back of my mind. My family didn't talk about it. I mean, we still went to church. He still came and fixed the house, and it's just something that we just did not talk about, even though everybody knew. People called him the devil, but everybody knew nobody done anything. And, 11 years later, I am 25 with 3 kids, and I see him at my mother's church, and I wanted to do something about that. There was children there. My mother needed help, so I guess she felt like she needed his help or his experience or whatever. And I told her that he had to leave, and he has not left. So I dug up my case and see what I could do, and finally started moving forward. I found out a lot of answers that I've always wanted to know, still got a lot of questions. But I lost my whole family in the process. I exposed a family secret, and in the Black community, what goes on in the house stays in the house. And it's like it's passed from generation to generation. And
it hurt you, didn't it?
A lot. And just harboring that pain for all these years, it has affected me so much. So with this all going forward, it was like re-traumatizing. Like all these images I had never seen for at least a decade, they all came rushing back to me.
And then you put them on paper.
I put them on paper. I couldn't keep them inside of my head any longer.
Wow. You've done a lot of public speaking about this.
Oh, yeah.
How is it being received?
Oh, they love it. They love it. I'm fierce, Sometimes I wonder, because people don't really like to talk about child sexual abuse, let alone clergy abuse, because that's a very sensitive subject. You want to see a preacher or a minister in a better lighting. At least that's what it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be, quote unquote, good people, still human, but good people. And when you hear about a minister taking advantage of his position of power and touching on little girls or touching on little boys, it's just something people don't want to believe. Right. Because, that's, they feel secure there, which they should. That's God. Somebody representing God, you should be able to trust, which enrages me because, these people are coming, they're coming honest, they're coming vulnerable, they're coming looking for hope, and you take advantage of that. It really enrages me because there's a lot of people that come to church thinking that they can trust.
So what is the thing that you really want people to get from your sharing and your book and your speaking about it?
Healing. Healing is top priority. If you've ever been through anything that I've been through, healing is top priority. If you're a parent and your child comes to you, healing is top priority. I mean, I wouldn't change my life for nothing. I have 3 beautiful children. I have an amazing story to tell. I reach people. They love my poetry. I love what I do now. Like this is my destiny. So I wouldn't take none of it back. At the same time, I'm like, why me? I wouldn't take none of it back.
You think what you say happened to you is sort of the building blocks to some of the choices maybe you made in life?
Oh yeah, it led me to have made basically almost non-existent self-esteem. It made me desperate, you know. I mean, I made my own decisions. Nobody held a gun to my head, but when your mind is manipulated like that, it takes some time to, you know, really, you know, get those types of behaviors and unhealthy thoughts and stuff out of your head, and I never done that. I only started going to counseling 2 years ago. Wow. So it's a big deal. Yeah. It's a very big deal to me. I feel like it's child sexual abuse, clergy abuse, domestic violence is a doorway to so much more, on top of it repeating.
Right. You have children.
Yes.
What do you tell them when they ask you questions?
About what happened to me?
About what happened to you, or about just things they may see on TV, or just life in general?
I educate my children. That's one thing I did not get. That's why I was so confused. That's why I was frozen. So I create an open relationship with my children, promote trust, promote honesty, promote that they can talk to me. I let them know that I don't care who anybody is. I love you all the most. Mm-hmm. And I make sure they know that my children believe in God and they believe in going to church, and you know, that kind of scares me sometimes. But at the same time, I know my children are educated. I know that if something happens, they're going to come back and they're going to talk to me. I don't try to push my insecurities off on them, but my children are equipped.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you want other parents to hear.
Yes, like I don't, you know, get to the point where I'm just like, tell them if somebody touches them in this place. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. I would say, you know, help them create healthy boundaries so that way when somebody violates that, they know something's wrong. Right. So that's what I would like parents to do, because, you know, a lot of parents, they don't want to expose their children to the idea that a preacher could do this. And I understand that, you know, you want to protect their innocence. You want them to, you know, not even think about something like that, not at their age. Right. But at the same time, it's happening. The devil is taking advantage of vulnerable people. He goes in places that people are more liable to trust, mm-hmm. and the church is the perfect place to go. Right. So it's happening. So if you're not educating your children, I really consider or recommend reconsidering that. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to happen to anybody else. I really don't. I'm mad that I'm not alone. I wish I was alone. Nobody deserves what I've been through. But there's a lot of people that have been what I've been through. This story with me speaking out about the black churches, I'm one of many. I'm not alone. He has more victims, but I respect that they don't want to come forward. The justice system has failed me. The church has failed me. I respect it. At the same time, I want their support, but it's hard. Right. It's hard. So.
Well, and with all due respect, for his side, since he's not here represented, he is still presumed innocent until mm-hmm. found guilty in a court of law. Mm-hmm. And you know, your trial date is coming up, and I hope that the resolution of it gives you the healing that you look for. And I'm so glad that you put this book together so that it's a voice for individuals who are silent, who are afraid.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I declare war on silence or anything that condones it. I'm a good person, but when it comes to that, oh boy, I do not.
That gets you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I plan on doing this until, you know, I go home.
What would you hope that maybe churches, all churches, would do with regards to this topic?
I would hope that all churches would screen all clergy, propose prevention plans. If a victim ever does come forward, you fully support that, and you get the devil out of your church, you get the devil out of God's house, you get the devil out of my daddy's house. That's what I think should be done, rather than, oh no, this can't happen, you know, because it's happening. Kids don't lie about stuff like that. They just don't. You know, that's not even something they would even imagine in the first place. So when they say something
ought not to ever have to imagine.
Yeah, so when they say something like that, it happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tanyqua, thank you so much for being brave and sharing your story. And we thank you so much for watching this edition of Digital Conversation. Be sure to watch more conversations on LEX810.com. Until next time.